just had no 275 club.
Tom, I'll give him to a side play, 1,009. Actually, I'll play him 10-1.
I tell you what, dude, I'm a 14.6. You give me 7.5 aside, and I'll take it. Huh? Come on.
The you hear what he done the other day? Him and his dad played there, right?
Yeah. All right.
Well, you know what ended up getting him cut, right?
Yeah.
Take all the time you want, pro. We're here to serve you. Yeah, Marty didn't exactly sound enthused.
He played 18 holes with his dad, and then when he gets finished with the 18 holes, he decides to go on a rant against himself, cussing himself
Where was that at?
right in front of a ton of customers.
Who,
No, he
who was that?
He did.
Who was that?
A young assistant, or not assistant, he was a behind the desk attendant, let's say.
That Possum Trot?
Yeah.
Possum Trot.
He got the axe, what, yesterday?
Yeah, yesterday morning.
But they found out that he had been in a couple of restaurants or bars and told people that he was an assistant PGA professional. And he had actually set up lessons and was taking them down at the bottom end of the range at Possum Trot and charging them $50 an hour. And, you know, this guy can't break 90. And he's never been to an academy. He's never been on a professional tour. He's never played in a open qualifier or
I
whatever.
played high school golf with him. He's awful.
All right, guys. We're this is so far a 9-minute break, so
Hey, roll.
stand by.
Just take us live.
We gonna
Go.
sit in the stand this afternoon? Yeah, we can do that.
We're going to what?
Sit in the stand.
Sit in
Shoot
the
us up.
stand. Oh, Lord have mercy. All right. You want me to go? You know, I got my sniper badge. You
Yeah,
want me to
bro.
go s-
Let's roll.
All right, stand
As
by.
long as I can eat the meat.
Yeah. You can't have any pudding if you don't eat your meat. Got to put a little Pink Floyd into it.
That's right.
Father, HR3, come to the studio, please. It's time to go live.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Broadcasting from North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, this is TGD Today. And now, please welcome Hero III,
HR3.
Al Cloyd,
Dr. Grind.
George Honeycutt, The Godfather.
All right, welcome everyone back to TGD Today. It is Pro Golf Talk Live here, and I want to apologize for the extended commercial break, but we had to go get refilled.
That's right.
So it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Pro Golf Talk Live, a lot going on around the world. Of course, the PGA Tour is down in Mexico, in Cancun at the OHL Classic at Mayacopa. This is a wonderful, again, opportunity to where maybe some of the marquee names aren't there. So it gives those upstarts, those young upstarts, one like Patrick Lundy,
right.
the opportunity to coming off the web.com, or maybe they got a sponsor's exemption to go out, make a lot of points for the FedEx Cup, and then to win a lot of money.
Yes, sir.
So that's always good to get. But right now, interestingly, the scores are pretty good. -6 is leading. So they aren't exactly tearing it up. But, again, I think those scores are reflective of what's going on with the weather down there. And, again, you could see 61, 62 come out of there pretty easy. But
the wind doesn't blow, you can rip that place apart.
yeah, still a lot of players out on the course, so there's still a lot of play to happen for the day. The European Tour, in case you missed it, they went on the air as far as broadcasting very early this morning, about 4 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and they are in Turkey. Turkey, of all places. And this is a Colin Montgomery golf course that we spoke about earlier on the round table. And he built a beautiful golf course. It is quite gorgeous. It's wonderful. They're just, all the pros are just ranting and raving about it. And there's quite an extensive field, again, participating in Turkey. This is their third stop of the 4 Race for Dubai tournaments. Okay. And, of course, they've just left China, and now they're over in Turkey. And, of course, they'll finish up in Dubai for the final event, being the end of their season. And speaking about the PGA Tour, this is their last event before they take their holiday break. So we better capture all the golf we can this week. Yep. The only thing left will be the women next week, of course, going to Naples and finishing up their year in their, of course, Rolex rankings, and then their race for their cup. So a lot going on right now. But again, Pat Perez is at -5. Will McKinney's at -5. Davis Love III, again, he can't decide which tour he wants to play. He's at -5. So a lot going on in the leaderboard there. And like I said, with the time difference, of course, they're just a couple hours behind, or actually 1 hour behind East Coast time. But a lot of players still out on the course at the OHL Classic in Mayakoba. So, again, this golf course is gettable. There's no doubt about it. And you can definitely take advantage. Boy, I hate these pop-ups. Jeff, we got to get those taken care of. Let's look down through the leaderboard. Continue on. Scott Piercy's at 4 under through 14. Fabian Gomez, there's a name, 4 under through 11. Andrew Putman's at 4 under through 11. Hudson Swafford's at 4 under. Heath Slocum, Nicholas Thompson, Andrew Savoda, Jonathan Vegas, Brian Harmon, all those at 3. Jason Kokrak's at 3.
Brian Harmon's playing some good golf.
Yeah, he is. Jonathan Vegas is coming back a little bit too. He seemed to have found his drive and his motivation.
What a great golf swing.
Yeah, we've kind of not heard much from him for a couple of years now. So
Jay
again,
Woodson, my buddy Monday qualified. He's at even par.
Oh, good.
Yep.
Chad Campbell. Here's Chad,
All right.
who has,
cool.
been on the web.com tour. I mean, Chad was all world a couple of years ago, guys, and bless his heart. I mean, Ryder Cup participant. He was going to, he was constantly in the top 20 in the FedEx Cup, and then Chad just seemed to fall off.
He
and
lost his
lost his
motivation,
tour
he said.
card.
Yeah.
It seems to be.
Yeah, I watched an interview with him. He said that he just didn't really want to play golf anymore. Wasn't enjoying it.
Sounds like Jason Duffner, doesn't it?
Yeah. Jason
Yeah.
just goes with the flow.
Well, Jason's back now, and he participated in China last week. He's in Turkey now. So, and Jason had a decent day. He didn't burn up the world today, but we'll talk more about that a little bit later. Chris Stroud's at 2 under. Russell Knox is at 2 under. As we go on down the list, Robert Garrigus, of course, one of Hugh's friends, close friends, at 2 under par. So it's good to see him start off early. Patrick Cantlay is at 2 under. Roger Sloan's at 2 under, Zachary Blair. And the phenom that we've kind of talked about, Tony Finau, is, of course, from the Big Break fame. And he has now made it on to the PGA Tour. And he's started off at 2 under par through 9. So, again, he's showing some stellar play. And congratulations to him. So
First year I turned pro, I went to tour school with Tony.
Did you?
Hits it a mile. Unbelievable talent.
And interesting, we've talked about this before, Patrick. He hits it a mile, and it moves left to right.
Yeah.
You normally don't see that.
No, you don't. I mean, he's going to be something serious. I mean, he could definitely be top 10 in the world.
Well, it's him and his brother, and they've kind of him and hawed it back and forth.
I don't think Gipper really plays anymore, does he?
He doesn't. He's still, from what I understand, he's still trying it out there, much like many of you are. But I think it's all focused on Tony right now, and he does have the talent,
He
dude.
definitely
It's
does.
raw talent.
Yeah, he's outstanding. One of
and
the most
what-
talented people I've seen.
What I find so interesting about him, too, Patrick, is he's a big guy.
Yeah.
He's got big hands, but he's a very good putter.
Yeah, very good mental attitude too.
So,
Very confident person. Yeah, he's got it. He's got it. He puts it great.
but he's not flamboyant.
no, he's not. He's very humble.
Yeah. So I think that's a strong characteristic and attribute for him.
Absolutely.
Is that he'll just go on his course. He's going to play the golf course.
Yep.
So if Tony reaches a golf course, sees a golf course that all of a sudden it just fits his eye, he's one of those guys that's going to go 23 under.
Oh, he's not scared to win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I
well,
like-
he's not so much thinking about the score that he's going to post
No, it's the
to
shot in
win.
front of him.
He's just going to go, I can just eat this place up at 6, 7 under a day.
Let's go.
And then, and then at the end of day 4, they're going to have to go get him in the parking lot because he's already slamming the trunk and say,
ready,
oh, by
yeah.
the way, here's $1 million check. You need to come get your trophy.
That's
He's
right.
just that type of guy.
He
Do you
is.
agree?
I totally agree.
Excuse me, folks. I'm trying to get over some cold here. So
I
again,
just saw local boy Roberto Diaz is in the
Yep.
field.
yep.
I don't know if he got an exemption, but
Well, it's good to
for him,
see.
hopefully
Good to
he'll play
hear.
well, yeah.
Charles
Definitely.
Howell the third. There's been some discussions of he's taken the last several weeks off. He's another one of those players. I watched Charles when he was 12.
Yeah.
I actually participated in a U.S. Open qualifier at Braylon Country Club in Peachtree City, Georgia, and Charles at 12 years old was in the field.
Wow.
And so I watched him and his entourage on the driving range while I was likewise out there getting warmed up. And watching him hit it through the range, and it was bouncing once and hitting the back maintenance cart barn, hitting the metal building at the back part of the range, and he was 12. And also in the field that day was John Daly. And so John was just about 4 spots over from him, and John was hitting the top of the maintenance barn. And then me and a buddy of mine who had signed up to qualify, and of course we were in no way, shape, or form going to make it, but we just wanted the experience of trying to qualify for a U.S. Senior Open or a U.S. Open. And we're sitting here, our balls are 50 yards short of theirs
shed.
at the end of the roll. At the end of the roll. And we're going, dude, we don't have a snowball's chance. And you know what? He looked at me and goes, let's just have fun. And I said, you damn right. Let's go.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and I missed it by 6.
Yeah.
So I figured I was within 6 shots of those that made the U.S. Open. I felt pretty damn good.
Heck yeah.
So
Nothing
not
wrong
bad.
with that. Not bad.
Not
no.
bad. But that and $5 got me a cup of coffee at Starbucks. So
Rock and roll.
I was
Charles
a
Howell
happy.
have full status?
He almost has gathered, and Hugh would be a great person to ask this if he was here. He's almost. I'm trying to remember the different qualifications, but I think he's been on the tour for so many years now
That he gets a certain amount
that
of
he.
starts.
Yeah, exactly. So I think for him, it's more of a a longevity thing than it is anything else.
Yeah.
But he is just God. Even at 12, Patrick, he had such a swing, and you were sitting there watching him, and you said, God, that guy's going somewhere.
Yeah, I don't want to bash the guy, but a big time underachiever.
Right.
I mean, he's he practices 10 hours a day, 7 days a week, they say.
Yeah.
And it's like maybe he just needs to focus a little bit more on the golf course and getting that ball in the hole rather
Well,
than
he's
the
very
golf swing.
mechanical.
Yeah, very
You saw that early in his young age. He was
With
very
Ledbetter.
mechanical,
Yeah.
and he had a therapist with him, his mother, a psychologist, and his caddy on the range at this open qualifier, and he was 12 years old.
Yeah, that's wild.
Okay, come on,
Right.
who did I have with me? Bud.
Yeah, I had my uncle.
Bud. No, I'm talking Budweiser.
Budweiser.
Yeah. The can was over in the cart. So I had Bud with me. Let's talk a little bit about the European Tour. And, of course, as I mentioned, they are at the Turkish Airlines Open. And doggone it, we are watching something. Again, this guy just wants to make history. And I'm talking about, of course, Angel Jimenez, Mr. Ponytail himself, is right there in the lead of this doggone event in Turkey. He goes out today and shoots a smooth little 9 under par 63. And actually, guys, it should have been 10. It could have been 11. But he shoots 9 under par 63 to take a one-shot lead over the renewed and revitalized Ian Poulter.
Oh,
Ian Poulter shoots 8 under, 64. The new clubs are working. They're working. He just got them a month ago. So he just likes
used
his
to 'em.
energy. He likes the way they're hitting.
Yeah.
You know, Ian Poulter.
Got to pull for Jimenez, right?
Got to pull for
That's
him.
my favorite player.
50 years old.
Rolls up in a Lambo, cigar hanging out of his mouth, does a little stretching routine, hits 15 balls, goes out and fires 63.
Isn't that great?
Gotta love him.
And then Todd Lewis was doing an interview with him after the round today from the golf course, and he was sitting there and he wouldn't take the stogie out of his mouth. He's just puffing it like crazy. It's already got about 4 inches of ash on the end of it.
Just can't get enough of it.
And then they tried to keep it out of the image, but he already had a glass of port in his left hand. So
Nice.
he had already started hitting the liqueur,
Oh, yeah.
you know, with the stogie afterwards. And so, again, it's always fun to watch Miguel Angel Jimenez in playing golf. It doesn't matter. It's like Angel Cabrera. You just enjoy watching them go out
awesome.
there. They
Yeah.
take no time over a shot. They look at their competitors who are over there, you know, analyzing whether that fly that just went by him, whether he had a stronger right wing versus a left wing, which is going to make the wind blow harder.
Yeah.
And, you know, they're just sitting there going, dude, just hit the damn thing.
Yeah.
You know, you should have a swing that's just so in tune. You shouldn't have to worry about this stuff. Henrik Stenson's very much that way. He's very much just get over the ball, slap it,
Yeah, he is.
and just see what it's like.
He's a
Yep.
very good example of separating, you know, range from golf course. You know, he works very hard on his golf swing, very hard on his fitness, but when he goes to that golf course, it's all about what's in front of him.
And today, of course, they had some featured groups, which Jimenez just happened to be teeing off at the right time, so the television could really put a lot of coverage on him.
Yeah.
And we get lucky as spectators. We get lucky at that point every once in a while. But of course, one of the feature groups included Stenson, and he decided basically to leave the driver in the bag today, except for 2 of the par 5s. Interestingly, at this golf course that Colin Montgomery designed, they've got 5 par 5s and 5 par 3s. So it's kind of unique, and it gives them a lot of scoring opportunities, including one of the par 4s that's only playing about 320 yards. But the guys that were trying to go for the green found out very quickly, yeah, it may be only 300 yards, but it's going to bite your ass.
Yeah, better miss it in the right spot.
Well, they let the gruff grow this year,
Yeah.
which I think last year, of course, you saw Victor Dubuisson last year play extremely well. Kind of started his year
Yeah,
off
that's
last
where
year.
He came out of nowhere.
And
did.
he comes in and shoots, I think it was 23, 24 under par for the 4 days. And then Victor had a rough start today. He was at +5, ended up birdieing in the last hole, finished at +4. But you saw last year they could spray it around, and it really didn't hurt them. And the scores reflected that.
Yeah.
This year, they let the gruff grow to about 3 to 4 inches. And now you're seeing these guys like Ian Poulter, for example. He hit a 3-wood off the box on the last hole, the 9th hole, which was his 18th for the day. He started on the back, and it's a par 4. You kind of aim it just left of the water down on the far right-hand side, and then you have to shoot over the water to reach the back right pin where it was today. But he pushed it a little bit and got in some just nasty, gnarly stuff, and he was only 10 yards right of the fairway.
Yeah.
And he literally hooded everything he could in his approach shot and barely reached the front left side of the green, and then ended up having it was a good 95-foot chip.
Yeah, that plays right
To a-
into Jimenez's hands. Stay consistent, keep it in the fairway,
And he did. He
Yeah,
did. He was
he
just
did.
dinking
He
and
always
dunking,
does.
dinking and dunking.
You're exactly
That's
right.
exactly
Yep.
what it was happening. The par 4 that they were all trying to drive, Jimenez just goes, I just hit a driver out to the right-hand side, and I wedge it up from there, and I make the putt.
See you later.
You
I'm
know,
gonna make the putt.
I make the putt.
That's right.
You know, Jimenez, of course, known, how did you make that 8? Well, I miss, I make. So,
I miss.
so, it's just good to see him, 50 years old. Remember, after the Masters this year, he had a top 10 in the Masters, and then he takes the week off, and what does he do for his week of vacation? He goes and plays in the Champions Tour event in Atlanta at the Bell South,
Wins
what used
it.
to be the Bell South, and wins the damn thing,
Yeah.
Yep.
and he hadn't been back. You know, I only played the European
It's
tour.
too easy.
Yeah, I had fun.
He's
Thank
not
you
ready to
very
play
much.
with old
Yeah,
men.
had
yet.
fun. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. That'd be $280,000, and just give it to me in a box of wine. You know. So, of course, he's got the new wife now, so sporting her around.
Yeah.
How does
So,
she look?
how does she look?
I haven't seen her.
Dude, she's gorgeous.
Phenomenal.
Oh yeah.
What a
She's.
stud.
I think she's.
I love this guy.
I think she's
I love this guy.
30.
When I make it,
I
that's
think
the-
she's
I'm
38
first guy
years
I'm hanging
younger
out
than
with.
he is. I think she is. I think she just. Well, it's okay in Spain. I think she just turned 14, maybe 15. I joke.
That
I
sounds
joke,
like a Tennessee
folks.
thing.
I jokes. Yeah, it's a Tennessee thing. All right, guys, let's jump to the ladies again. Keep an eye on the very early coverage of the European Tour. Turkish Airlines Open, brought to you by the Ministry of Youth and Sports. Of course, they're playing the Montgomery Max Royale course in Antalya, Turkey. And guys, I just want to mention Antalya. First off, you don't think about Turkey being a golf destination.
No.
And in the city of Antalya, they have built 14 golf courses.
Wow.
The entire city, and all of these golf courses are within 5 miles of one another. Okay? So the entire city is just a destination resort area. And if you're thinking about a golf trip, what better place to go than Turkey? It's
beautiful over there,
Would
isn't it?
that not be spectacular?
Yeah, it would be. Definitely.
I never thought about it, but yeah.
The golf course that Montgomery built is gorgeous, and you look at the surrounding areas. There's a lot of elevation change, and so you get some higher elevation views, especially when they throw the towers and the blimp and whatever they've got. But just the surrounding area is gorgeous. It's got mountain ranges around it. It's beautiful weather this time of the year. So it's a lot of fun to just watch. And, of course, you would never think about going to Turkey for a golf destination, but, heck,
Let's go.
I'd go. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll take Patrick.
Let's talk
Yeah.
about one of Patrick's trips. The one you took down,
To Asia.
Asia.
Yeah, I went
Give us a little bit of info on that.
I went to try Asian tour last year in Thailand, and it was a hell of an experience. Really, it's a different lifestyle over there, man.
Sure it is.
It was an eye opener. I was over there for a month, and the last thing I was focused on was golf. Man, it was pretty ghetto, to be completely honest with you. I didn't know where to find food or what I was eating, and it was a learning experience.
Yeah. He had told me one of the things that I remember sticking out from the stories he told me, that like 2 miles or a mile within the coast line, it's plush and really nice. As soon as you get outside of that barrier, it's like going into a completely different world.
People bathing in the creeks.
Sure.
It's a different.
And that's not just Asia, but if you look at throughout Europe, you have those similar situations. You look, it's a third world country.
Yeah.
And so thusly, whether it be Korea, whether it be Japan, Japan has just always been known to be, just pristine and nature driven and things.
Yeah, that's the image we get over here, but it's just, unless you go to Bangkok or Tokyo or you're in those main,
you're in those
cities.
metropolitan cities.
Yeah, it's a different world.
Yeah. So again, was that something that you would do?
I would do it again now that I know how to live over there and go about things.
How long were you there?
I was there for 3 weeks.
Okay.
Maybe a little longer than that.
Okay. But you would do it again?
I would definitely do it again. Yeah. Now that I know what to expect, I did all kinds of research and everything, but until you throw yourself in that situation, it's a shock.
Well, I've told Jeff and our listeners the story, Patrick. I used to work for a medical company, and we were owned by the Singapore Holding Group, which is the country of Singapore. And I would go over every month to Singapore from Atlanta. And, their thing is you attend the board meeting in the morning, and then by 11 o'clock, you're being limoed over to the golf course. Yeah. They spend the rest of the day of board meeting day on the golf course. And so I played over there at Singapore Country Club 20 times.
Yeah.
And it's a different golf. It's, it's grass. Yeah, everybody's got grass. But the thing is so humid.
Yeah,
it is the thickest air I think I've ever teed up a ball in.
It's hot. It is so hot,
at
least in Thailand.
And it's breath take away hot.
Yeah.
As far as you really have to collect yourself. There's the head spinning and you get woozy at times, and you know, over there, of course, we're playing amateur, you know, customer golf as it's referred to, or pro-am like you would play. But you play 6 holes and then you stop. And we would get cold compresses and tea.
Yeah.
You stopped. I mean, there was a little snack bar after 6 holes. And then you played 3 more, and then you stopped at the clubhouse, and then you went for 3, you stopped, and then you finished 6, and then you went back to the clubhouse for dinner, coat and tie.
It gives you it gave me a new respect for the people that, you know, play the European Tour, play the Asia Tour, and just travel these different destinations
Every week.
have to adjust to the time zone, the weather, the lifestyle, the food. I mean, it's just for these guys that just come out on tour, the McElroys, the, you know, Thorborn Olsen, people like that. It's unbelievable how they can play week in, week out, you know, no problem. Mm-hmm. I struggled with it.
Right.
You know, majorly, and granted, it was my first time, and I would probably do better the next time. But man, it's different.
Now, if you are in the process of obtaining your tour card on the web.com tour, you have made it through stage 1. You're going to stage 2, and we talked a little bit about this on the roundtable earlier. But would that be something that you would be interested in or looking at as far as maybe going to the European tour, maybe going to the South African tour like Hugh did, or maybe going back over to Asia and participating in their tour if you don't make it to the web.com?
Yeah, if I don't make it on web, I'm going back to Asia. I'm going to try it again. And next year, even if I do have my web card, you know, if I don't make it on the PGA Tour, I'm going to Europe. You know, it's pretty much a no-brainer now because you go through tour school, you can't even get your PGA Tour card anymore. You know, you can only make it to web. So to spend the money, go over to Europe and try and get your European Tour card. That's the plan.
Good.
I don't really want to talk about not making it through web.
No.
But yeah.
No. You are at that point in your career that this is your shot.
Yeah, this is it.
This is your shot.
I'm on the chopping block.
So, and I don't mean that degrading you or cutting you down or whatever, but
I'm well aware.
You look at your age, you look at your opportunity. This is the opportunity.
Yeah, this is it.
And I love your mentality. I love your focus. You know, like we talked about earlier with Ombre, is, you know, you're just going to go out and you're going to play Patrick Lundy golf.
Embrace the situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't go chasing leaderboards. You can't go chasing the golf course. You're going to play the golf course. You're going to stay focused. If that means shooting 6 under each day, then so be it.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
I'll
right.
post
That's
my
right.
I'll post my 24 under, and then we'll see how it falls.
We'll see how it finishes. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Which I would imagine is probably going to be top 5. So if not
right.
number 1. So.
Yep.
I would
Well,
hope
you
so.
have our best wishes and luck and all that for you
Prayers.
coming up. Leaving tomorrow. The Stage 2 qualifying school for Web.com begins next week, and we will be getting an update from Patrick on Monday, I believe, Monday morning golf wrap. And then we will also have daily updates. So that's remind me, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
That's
Is
right.
that right?
Yep.
So I'll be coming in the studio. We'll be talking to Patrick each evening, getting updates. We'll talk about his round for the day. We'll talk about his ups and downs. And hopefully our listeners and viewers will enjoy that as we catch up
Can't wait.
at Pro Golf
Can't
Talk.
wait. Yeah, that'll be awesome.
So I want to thank everyone for joining us on Pro Golf Talk today on TGD today. This has been a lot of fun. I have just a blast every time Al comes in. My brother from a different mother,
Oh, wow.
Dr. Grind.
That's right.
Patrick, thank you so much for
Thank
joining
y'all
us
for
today.
having me.
This was a lot of fun. I want to remind everybody, TGD Radio and TGD TV are produced and broadcast by the Zeus Radio Network for thegolfdirector.com. When visiting the Golf Director website, be sure to navigate over to our featured golf course pages. Great opportunity here for you to learn about all the area golf courses, for you to look at the golf courses, for you to access their websites. There are several golf course reviews that you'll be able to hear the Godfather and others talk about how to play these golf courses. And we give you the true amateur look at those golf courses. So if you really want to find out how to play these courses, access thegolfdirector.com and go to those featured course pages. You also find out about course conditions, specials, and much, much more. If you need help with any vacation planning, if you're coming to the Grand Strand or if you're coming to the surrounding areas, I don't care where you're going, give us a call. We more than likely can help you. You can just call Dave at 844-GO-GOLF-1. That's 844-464-6531. All of our TGD programming is archived for listening and viewing on demand. To catch up on any show you may have missed, click on the TGD Radio or the TGD TV tabs in the menu screen at thegolfdirector.com. This is George Honeycutt, and on behalf of Jeff Gilder, our executive producer, we want to thank you so much for joining us today on TGD, and there's more TGD golf news and information coming up next.
Thank you.